Fittipaldi. Another consistent run for him. And Alex Tagliani, the young French-Canadian rookie.
Paul Tracy has had 2 of his 3 wins on street tracks this year. 10th on the grid, Tony Kanaan won the Rookie of the Year title here a couple of years ago. Tarso Marquez, best effort for him in 11th. Alongside him, Cristiano De Massa.
Kenny Breck is the rookie points leader and also in overall contention for the championship. Roberto Moreno, he's second in points coming in here. Aurel Serbia, the young Spaniard, done a good job this year. And the Mexican driver, Adrian Fernandez.
Max Papis has been in the top 5 last 2 visits to Houston. Alongside him, the Japanese driver Shinji Nakano. Behind them, Patrick Carpentier starts 19th. Mark Blundell 20th, struggling with the balance of his car.
And the Pac West teammate Mauricio Gugelmin also way back in the field. Alongside him, Mimo Gidley. He thinks he's got a much better car than he showed in qualifying. Alex Barron making his 4th start for Dale Coyne Racing. Alongside him, the other Mexican driver, Michel Jourdain Jr. All alone at the back, Luis Garcia Jr. well off the pace.
Corners around this track. On board with Mimo Gidley, starting in 22nd. He carries one of our cameras this afternoon. He's coming up to turn 3. Just ahead of him, Mauricio Gugelmin. He's only 1 place ahead of him. In fact, they share that 11th row to the grid.
That's right, they do, and they're well back. There should be some exciting action there. There is the other Pac West car of Mark Blundell, as he's now onto the back straight, Ben.
Yes, Mark Blundell really hasn't had that car handling to his liking this weekend. 17th place, Max Papis, and that is a surprise to see him that far down the order, I have to say. Has a good record at Houston in the past. Watch out for this man. Fernandez crashed, as we saw, in qualifying at that corner that he's just going through. But could go well. He's a good fuel miser, is Adrian Fernandez, and that could be to his benefit. But watch out for this man, Juan Montoya. He starts 6th.
You always watch out for Juan Montoya. Tremendous talent here. Just announced, of course, a week or so ago that he will join officially the Williams BMW team in Formula 1 next year. Great overhead view there. That is the George R. Brown Convention Centre in the sort of left foreground of the picture there. Absolutely massive convention centre. The whole garage area is in there as well. Really impressive. Good crowd on hand here, and we're just getting ready for the start. Ben, can't wait. This is going to be fun.
It is going to be fun. As we take a look at the race analysis there, you can see quite a wide fuel range. Maybe somebody will try and get through this race on just 1 pit stop. We'll keep an eye on that. The car's beginning to group up, and they will take the start on the back stretch, a bit like they do at Mid-Ohio. And let's see what happens. Gilles de Ferran on the right of the picture. Dario Franchitti on the left. They take the green flag, and the Texaco Havoline Grand Prix of Houston gets underway as they all head down to the first corner. Gilles de Ferran looking up a little bit. Look at Montoya and Vassar. Vassar is there into 2nd. Vassar moves into 2nd. Helio Castroneves and Dario Franchitti battling over 3rd.
Yeah, Dario there hit the wall there. He got nudged in from behind, possibly by Montoya, and he hit the wall on the outside, lost a lot of ground, and fallen right back down the field, back to 8th or 9th position already.
So it looks like more disaster for Dario Franchitti here. He's slow indeed, and he's dropping more places, about to be passed by one of the players' cars. That's Tagliani about to go past him. So Franchitti's gone from the front row, he's dropped right down the order, and that gives him a huge amount of work to do. De Ferran crosses the line in the lead from Jimmy Vassar in 2nd place. Castroneves in 3rd. Montoya up from 6th place to 4th, and Dario's in the tyres, being passed by Tagliani. Couldn't get it round that turn number 1. Really in trouble, and now it's all over for the Scotsman. Once again, another weekend ends in disaster. Carpentier is off as well, and I don't know whether that was anything connected. I don't think it was. I think that's somewhere else entirely on the track.
And what a shame there. Poor old Dario Franchitti had absolutely no luck this season. Did not make a good start though. He was left for dead at the start by the pole city. Dario then taps the wall. I think he broke the suspension there on that cool car. You see Montoya goes past him there, and Tracy and the whole rest of the field goes past as well. And here's from on board at the first couple of corners. You can see Castroneves there getting down the inside. Forces Dario wide, and as Dario gets on the power there, the back end snapped around, and he just clipped that wall.
Yeah, it was just on the power, wasn't it? That's why. Let's see what happened to Carpentier. We might see Blundell went down the inside and tagged him. That's what happened there, and that's unfortunate. I don't think Blundell really was, well, he made a bit of an effort. Let's take another look at this. He certainly made an effort to get down the inside, and then contact was made. He wasn't close enough to getting past, and that is unfortunate, because that's put Carpentier waiting for a tow. He should be able to rejoin the race, but of course Dario Franchitti clambers out of his car. He cannot believe what is going on this season. Yet to win a race this year, and he's had 6 wins in the past. A lot of those coming last year, of course, but it's been a disastrous season for him in 2000. Patrick Carpentier, meanwhile, trying to get that car bump started. Let's take another look at what went on in that battle. This was as Franchitti went off. Tagliani was down the inside. Franchitti tried to stay with him around the outside on the dirt, and there was just no way he was going to get round.
No, there wasn't, and I think the suspension there I think had already been damaged on Dario Franchitti's car, so a huge disappointment for him.
Gilles de Ferran is our race leader. He led away from pole, made an excellent start. Jimmy Vasser has moved into second place. Castroneves in third, Montoya in fourth, ahead of Paul Tracy in fifth place. And great start, good lap, early lap for Paul Tracy there, Jeremy, because he started down in ninth.
Yeah, he did an excellent start by him, as you say. Michael Andretti, not quite so good. He dropped back one position there. He is back in sixth place, so that's not what he wanted for his championship aspirations. Good news, though, for Tracy for the same reason. Andretti's teammate Christian was actually quickest of those in the first group of qualifiers. Remember, in Champ Car racing, the field is split into two for qualifying, and the split is made according to the qualifying times, I should say, on the first day, on Friday. And when they go out again on Saturday, the slower group from the first day goes out first. And Marquez was amongst that group, obviously, and he actually was quicker than everybody. There's a replay, though, of Dario Franchitti, I think, getting tagged by, possibly conceivably, by Montoya, or maybe not, but certainly, I think it was just as he got the power on.
And left at all here.
No,
look at that right
front.
Front. Yeah, I was just going to say, the right front becoming detached already. And in fact, look, it folded up before he hit the tyres.
You know, when we saw the previous replay, I thought something was a bit awry there, and I wasn't quite sure, so I didn't make a comment. But yeah, there you could quite clearly see it as he turned into the corner there. The right front was, yes. Look at that. That's interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. Street Circuits, Team Green this year. 2 wins for Paul Tracy. No wins for Dario, but he has had 1 pole. He's out of this one. He won't get a win here today. Tracy's still in the hunt in 5th place, of course. Dario, I think, has made it back to pit lane.
The second turn after the start, was, once one person got them outside was first, I think, and then the front came around and slapped it pretty hard. That was in the second turn. I came down here to start, the next lap into turn 1, and I guess something broke on the front as I was braking. It went in the wall.
Look from the replay that maybe the previous contact could have broken it. Is that what you think?
That's what I think, yeah.
All right, thanks, Dario. Sorry you're out so early.
So rather glum-looking Dario Franchitti as he ruminates on another disappointing weekend here. Let's take another look at that Carpentier-Blundell incident. Blundell just sort of stuck his nose down the inside. There was no opportunity for him to actually go past. And although I think he then tried to back out of it, he was already had his nose just there, couldn't get out of it enough, and Carpentier was pirouetted into a spin. So disappointment for Carpentier. He has been into the pits and taken advantage. He might as well come in and put some fuel in the car. And so he's been into the pits. We've seen a few of the other cars towards the back of the grid, interestingly enough, decide to come in at this first early stage. They might as well. There are quite a lot of tactical options here this afternoon, as we mentioned. This is this weekend, unlike on some of the tracks that we do see. Now then, we're getting ready for the restart. They will restart opposite the pits. They make the initial race start up here on the back straight, and that's to give them a bit more room into the first corner. But any restarts, they will then take single file, and the restart will take place opposite the pits at the actual finish line, and that's what they're beginning to line themselves up for now. Look at Montoya. He lies in 4th place. Paul Tracy's 5th, and Michael Andretti in 6th. So you've got 3 cars there, all pushing very hard indeed. Montoya still in with an outside chance of this championship, don't forget. He's not completely counted out yet, but to stay in with a chance, he needs to really win this afternoon and hope that some of the other major contenders drop out. Let's take a look at it. The green flag awaits them. This will be to start their 7th lap as they go across the line. De Ferran gets away well. Vasser in 2nd place. Castroneves in 3rd, and Montoya running almost into the back of Castroneves there as they head out of turn number 1.
Yeah, very tight action there. There's heavy braking there again for turn 2. Very tight right-hander there. And look at Castroneves there, moving around a little bit to try and keep Montoya behind him. He doesn't want to leave an opening because he knows Montoya is going to fill it.
Remember what happened here last year when Castroneves was driving for the Hogan team. Look at this, on board with Montoya. What happened last year was Montoya hit Castroneves. Oh, we've got more problems. Papis has been hit by Gidley. Max Papis in the foreground. Gidley has mounted the back of the Team Rahal car, and that will bring the yellows out. Yes, full course caution, no surprises. Bobby in the left-hand side of the picture, the man who has been confirmed, will be heading off to run the Jaguar Formula 1 program from next year. Let's take a look at this. All bottled up down at turn 2. Papis looks like Papis was very slow trying to accelerate off the corner.
Yeah, it looked like the car just didn't pull at all coming off that corner. It looks like he lost drive completely coming off the corner, and really wasn't much Memo could do about it. He was stuck behind there. He gets on the power, and poor Papis just doesn't go anywhere. And he's trying to give him a push start there, I think, but he pulls out. But there's no drive at all, clearly, from that Rahal car, and Gidley there an innocent victim, really.
Very difficult situation. Let's take a look at the onboard. This would be fun to watch. Nudge, nudge. Oh, and up he goes. And he had quite a lot of lock on. He was trying to get round to the inside. He couldn't do anything about it, could he?
That was really unfortunate. Just kind of sums up the way this race has started off, though, doesn't it? Very silly incident there. You can't really blame either of the drivers, that's for sure. Just circumstance. And with the crew chief or team manager nowadays, Larry Ellett, and Papis is still in the car, and they haven't yet managed to dislodge Gidley's car, so he's sitting there waiting patiently to be able to pull it off, and hopefully he can at least get back into the fray.
Yes, that would be good for him, but he's going to lose a lot of time here. They're trying to get that car up. Look at the tyre marks on that nose cone where it sort of dug into the tyre. Now, is he getting out or not? Is he going to stay in the car? Still trying to get these two cars apart, would you believe it? The front wing of Maimo Gidley's car lodged into the rear wing and rear suspension of Max Papis' machine, and it means they just cannot get the two of them apart. There's been about 6 guys working on this, and finally I think they might have found a way of getting it off. Have they managed to? No, still not. It's an intricate little piece of work that's going on here, and meanwhile the leaders still going around. There's the pace car going past this incident. Oh, well done, boys. Well done. They've finally managed to get the two on the opening lap of the race. Crashed out just starting the second lap after damage done to his suspension. We saw Carpentier being knocked into a spin by Mark Blundell. And now we've seen this incident of Gidley mounting the back of Max Papis' car after Papis' car seemed to die completely. Franchitti, in fact, finished in second place. But today for Team Green, things haven't started too well for one of their cars. Dario Franchitti making contact with the wall, crashing out at turn 1 as a result. Paul Tracy's still there, I'm glad to say. He's in 5th.
Yeah, he's made a good start to this race, and it's interesting now, if you look back to that race last year in Houston, there was some talk at the time as to whether or not they would introduce team orders, because of course Tracy was not in contention for the championship, and Franchitti kind of was going into the weekend. He was 29 points behind going into that race with 3 races to go. And as it turns out, of course, Barry Green said at the time, I hope I don't regret not asking these two to change positions. Well, they ended up the season tied on points, and Franchitti lost the championship on that tie break.
Maimo Gidley is back running. Look at the damage to his left front wing as he tries to get back to the pits. And I don't know how much damage has been done. Doesn't seem to want to turn left very well, that car. So I think there may be more than just front wing damage. I think suspension damage perhaps as well. And, well, that is a disappointment. He won't be racing at the next event at Surfers Paradise in Australia, as being completed out of the 100-lap race. And they've decided to come in. Roberto Moreno and Adrian Fernandez, both major championship contenders. Moreno's second in the...
Indeed, and certainly I think now...